Hey guys, welcome back into Legacy. Tonight's session of Alternity is ready to roll. I think we are short a player. I am hoping he is having fun with family because he is on vacation. But we will roll with the two guys we got and see where they go. Uh, Come on, cat. Really? She's been walking all over me all night. Uh, and knocking my mouse over and all the other fun things cats do. Uh, but real quick refresher: the end of last session, you guys went to uh, the diversity consulting company, and you found piles of dead bodies and burned out computers. And when you walk into, you hear a ping. You walk into an office, and there is Robert Halton behind the desk, as dead as a doornail, with the computer still on. And when we left off, you guys were staring at the body, checking him for a pulse. So I will let you guys run with it.
Is he seated at the chair?
He's seated at the desk. Yeah, he's seated at the desk.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kick him away from the desk.
Gotcha. Good call. So he kind of rolls away from the desk a good maybe 2 or 3 feet.
All right, now I'm going to check his pulse.
Okay. There is no pulse. When you touch him, he's getting cold.
Getting cold. As in he's not been dead enough yet to be room temperature.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, you guys, he hasn't even started setting rigor yet.
Does he have that stupid grin on his face?
No.
From last time?
No, he does not have the smirk on his face, unfortunately.
All right, I'm going to ask for Felton to go check out the computer as I go through his pockets.
Okay. When you go through his pockets, you find a wallet that has a false name of Frank Behringer. And in it has like some credit cards, normal stuff like grocery store cards, all that kind of fun stuff. So obviously he's been living a full life as another person. You also find a set of keys in his pocket that appear to be to a fairly newer car.
Did I happen to see that car out in the parking lot?
You notice there were several cars out there. When you pull the keys out of his pocket, you do notice that they appear to be slightly smoking. Or not smoking, they smell acrid, almost like the internal components have been burned up.
That's weird. Felton, what do you see over there?
Okay. So, Mar, when you're looking at the computer screen, it is a standard Windows desktop environment. It appears to have the basics that most companies would have, like an office environment link and yada yada yada. But you do notice that there is a application that appears to be custom built, and it appears to be a database program built for this company.
So what's the database actually? Well, what kind of data is it?
If you open it up, it looks like it's a list of their contracts, what they've been contracted to do, who their contact point is. Uh, it when it opens up almost a little bit like old Access used to, with like the screens that you could flip between the tabs and everything.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to look to see what built-in queries were created with this particular interface.
When you look at it, it has a search query, of course. It also has one that when you look at it, it has a open close query that it appears that you can use that to, again, you have enough computer science knows. It appears that you would be able to open or close cases in the database, and it also has a filter query where you
Hmm.
can filter between like open, close. If you tap that, it lets you filter between like open, close, current, past. Uh, you know, you can filter by contact name, last name, contact first name, yada yada yada. Kind
Hmm.
of a standard filter.
Okay. So the fun part here is that I have in real life actually learned how to build access databases,
Mm.
although it's not something I've done recently. So,
Uh, just so you know, this is not this isn't built in Access, but it's built to look very similar to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Access. But
Anyway,
if you've messed with Access in real life, you have an idea of what I'm talking about. So you kind of
yeah.
have an idea what this looks like in your head.
Yeah, well, that's why I was asking what kind of
Yep.
queries they had built into
Yep.
the interface, because that's
Yep.
part of the thing you do when you set up an access database is you
Yep.
decide what you, as a person using the database, want to be able to quickly pull and
Mhm.
and set up an automated process.
Yep.
So, like, okay, how many people came in late to work this week and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the filters you notice is you can filter. There's a checkbox by large contract.
Hmm. Okay. What are the? I guess I'll look to see what they consider to be large contracts by pulling up a list of them.
Okay, there's only about 3 or 4 of these, but you're noticing that large contracts for these guys are in the six figures, easily in the higher end six figures, 750, $800,000.
Okay. Hmm. Do I recognize any of the names on them?
You do notice the only name that you find in there is Mapleton College. Mapleton College apparently paid them about $785,000 for their services.
Oh, that's interesting. That's quite a lot of money for. I'm not even sure what these guys were doing. Hmm. I mean, like actually doing, I guess,
Yep,
not like what they claim they were doing.
yep, yep.
Hmm. Okay. Um. Hmm. Um. What does it say in there about the Mapleton College contract?
Interesting. If you pull up their services requested part of the tab, and it appears that their job was a to implement a new pipeline for students, encouraging diversity uh, over diversity demographics, predominantly by bringing in female candidates.
Okay.
And there's a small note at the bottom that says demographics requested due to lack of representation in current field that university encourages.
Does it say who it was that decided they wanted to have more female students?
The only contact they have is the president, which I gotta remember his name now, which is Wyatt Hughes.
Okay.
Would have been their contact point.
So Wyatt Hughes was in some way the person who was in charge of this, even if they're not necessarily directly in charge of it. Wait,
Yeah,
hang on. They don't have any contact information for anyone. So if they wanted to call Mapleton, they would call Wyatt Hughes' phone number?
yeah, they've talked. They would get messages. Likely, again, you're intelligent enough to puzzle this out. The character is that they likely would send messages through his secretary.
Yes, of course. It's like
Uh,
Wyatt Hughes'
yeah,
office, not him
yeah,
personally.
yeah, not him personally. And again, I'm not giving you like I can give you more details if you need, but like inside of their contact point, they have like email addresses and phone numbers and all that kind of stuff to get
Right.
hold of
Yeah. I'll
people.
copy down all of the contact information I can find, because I want to, verify things, so we say.
Okay. Um, For the record, remember, all the other computers in this building are completely defunct.
Yeah. That's one thing I remember from last session is
Yep.
that when we came in, it's like they all got fried by a lightning bolt,
Yes.
except this one.
Yes.
And in this case, the guy sitting at it looks like he got fried by a lightning bolt.
Yes.
But the computer wasn't.
Yes.
Also, with Wyatt Hughes, I cleared him after an interview I held with him.
Mhm.
So, where did the money originate? If you could see that.
They don't have an origination. What's your intelligence score for your character, Emist?
My intelligence score?
Yeah.
Probably not that high, but I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
All right. Let me open up my ocular. And my intelligence is 10.
That's high enough to know. Your guess is this is an appropriation from the board of directors, board of trustees. They probably have some type of slush fund set aside to hire consultants.
Felton, can you figure out the names of this board?
It's easy enough. If he goes on the computer, he can go to the internet and pull up their board of trustees on their website. There's about 12 of them.
All right.
And they're a good mix of people. Pretty well, as far as when you're looking at them, because if you go to their about page kind of thing, they're pretty well credentialed. Most of them don't have tech backgrounds. They have business backgrounds and like business psychology and things like that backgrounds. So these people are strictly business related. They see dollars and cents. Would be the impression you would get from reading about them.
Okay, so, are these? I'm going to like look at the names and try to cross-reference them with people who are currently in the administration of the hospital or college.
Yeah. All right. You see a couple names that kind of you recognize from business, like business insiders and things like that. A couple of these guys come from bigger businesses. And again, if you're reading the about page, they tell you a little bit where they came from. They come from bigger businesses. But none of them really scream at you dark evil. As far as who they are, none of the names directly ring a bell, but their accomplishments do. Like they worked in C-suites at big businesses, like hospitals, big hospitals like Cleveland Clinic and places like that.
People where the sheer prestigiousness of where they've worked is what draws your attention, not anything about what they actually did, I guess.
Yeah. Yes. Like I said, these guys would be the kind of people that they probably your guess would be they probably hit a wall where they were at because they couldn't advance because they didn't have the specialized knowledge that they needed to advance further into where they were at. Like if you're working at Cleveland Clinic, you're only going to get so far if you don't have medical experience.
So they were trying to trade up by changing jobs.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And you also notice that most of the people on the board, almost none of them hail from Oklahoma. Almost all of them are non-native. There's a couple that are native to like Oklahoma City, but for the most part, their board of trustees is made up of people who are not native to the city or the state.
Definitely something worth noticing. Does kind of bring up the question of, it's like what their goal for being here is.
Yep.
But it doesn't really give you information about what the answer to that question is. So, yeah, we'll have to answer that later, I guess.
Like I said, from the impression you're getting from reading the about page, you're guessing these people are really just dollars and cents people. It seems like this board of trustees was not put together for an academic framework. They were put together more for a financial framework.
Okay, so this is the what is this board of trustees for? It's like this is the college or this consulting company?
No, this is the college. This is
Okay.
the university. So this unit, it is a little odd that they're not as academically focused, whereas a lot of board of trustees in colleges also focus on academics.
Yeah, that is so something that I was kind of having pop up as kind of like a question mark. It's like, wait a second. Eh, like generic corpos as the board of trustees at a college.
Yeah. The more you look at this university, the more this university structure just is very odd.
Because like I know that corpos will often be part of colleges because, like, let's face it, it's like someplace like DeVry, for example, technical college gives a lot of people degrees in how to do computer science applications. Sure, cool, whatever. And so, companies that hire the computer science personnel, they would have reason to be interested in something like that. Anyway, though.
Okay.
As for this one, I'm gonna have to like puzzle over those at some point, I suppose.
Again, as you're kind of scrolling down, you get to the end of the names, and at the very end of it, there is an academic liaison for the board of trustees by the name of Jennifer Myers.
Okay.
And she appears to be from her credentials, she is a lifelong academic. She has her Ed.D. She's not an active professor at the university. It appears that her whole job is to help the board of trustees deal with academic issues.
Right. The traditional liaison thing where you have people with differing, life experiences and goals trying to have an intermediary make communication easier.
Yes. And it says in her little description, it's only like a paragraph and a half or so, or two maybe. And it does say that she works directly with Dr. Hughes' office to implement academic changes at the school. Which means that the board of trustees, again, I'm not going to make you roll on this because you got enough intelligence to know this kind of stuff. Your character would know pretty well. It feels like this board of trustees is very hands-off when it comes to the academics at the school. That as long as they're not going to hurt the bottom line, they'll pretty much rubber stamp things.
Right, but also at the same time, whatever the specifics are, they don't care. As long as the number go up.
Yes. As long as they're making money, they don't care.
Okay, then. Well. I guess I will make copies of all of the relevant information for later use. Oh, wait. Does this computer have a removable media port that I could copy the database into?
Yeah, I mean, there's USB ports as normal, so I'd figure you probably have at least a couple of USB drives.
Well, that's exactly what I was asking. Because, like, I just suddenly remember, it's like, hey, wait a second. This is a game where my character actually has a portable computer.
Yes. So, yes, you can copy the database.
But when I'm checking the body, is there entry or exit points or where he was
there are no
electrocuted?
entry or exit wounds on him, but you notice something weird as you're kind of examining the body. His fingernails are black, are literally blackened. And the rubber on the sole, like the rubber on the sole of his shoes has almost been, no other way of putting it, it's been pretty much melted. Almost like the rubber drew the electricity down and grounded it.
So he was holding something that was electrocuting him?
Well, at least as far as you can tell, something electrocuted him.
Okay, so it is electricity.
Again, your intelligence at 10 is high enough to say, pretty sure this dude got fried by something.
If it was fried by something, is anything at the workstation that Felton's at? Is there any burn marks?
There are not. However, Felton, when you go to plug in the USB drive, you do get a slight shock,
Okay, just
almost like a static electricity remnant.
just a little bit.
Yep.
Nothing that's
Yep.
scary. Just
Mm-hmm.
Okay then. So I guess I make a copy of the database without any trouble.
No trouble. Uh, and then as you're pulling the USB drive out, you notice there's a thumbprint reader. It appears that they have to log in using the biometrics, and the thumbprint reader is no longer active. And if you take a close enough look at it, it is completely burned up.
Okay. Which would suggest that he wasn't working at his computer when he got killed. He was, I guess, logging in. That or he just had his hand close to it. One of the two.
Yep.
Okay, so is there anything else in his computer that's worth paying any attention to at all?
Not really. I mean, there's some other things you can copy. If you go into the documents section of the computer,
Okay.
there are invoices for the college in Excel format.
Okay.
That you can grab.
Yeah, because like my inclination here is to just like rummage through his computer and copy everything I can find, because it's like I'm probably not going to get an opportunity to look at any of this stuff by coming to his computer again. So making a copy of it for later perusal is prudent.
That's fine. Basically, it's mostly invoices, a couple internal memos that have been saved. The memos are kind of stock memos, just people talking about, oh, we have a meeting at this time with this client, kind of thing. None of the clients stick out to you.
Okay.
With just for kicks and giggles, with the information that Fulton's compiled and from what we've found so far, can I make a deduction roll to see if we got a lead?
Yes, you can.
All right, is using game mechanics to cheat.
I know, that's a valid question. I keep forgetting that you have the deduction skill.
It's not one of my strongest skills. Do I get a modifier for this or
no? No, because you're not pressed by time or anything.
Okay. Failed.
Okay. You're not sure if you have a lead or not, but something is definitely rotten in in Denmark there. Someone or something is cleaning up loose ends. And that's what your deduction is screaming at you, though.
Jennifer Myers, eh? Is that the name I got correctly?
Yes.
I guess we should track her down.
Again, when you look up, if you look into the information, it appears the board of trustees, including Jennifer, only meets quarterly, and they are not due to meet for a couple of months.
Just pay a house visit.
You're gonna have to find out where she lives.
That's simple. Felton, look her up on LinkedIn. Figure out her address.
Well, okay.
I'll take pictures
I'm
of the
going
bodies.
To first, like, refer to all of the information I already found about her.
Okay.
How detailed was that contact information I pulled out of the computer?
It's detailed enough that you could get hold of Dr. Just lost his name. Dr. Hughes' office, but not much more detailed than that. And
So
as far
it doesn't have a number for this particular person in it?
no. The contact point for them with the school was Dr. Hughes, was the president.
And that's basically the only
Yeah,
contact.
that's the only contact point they had. Again, combining the two intelligence you guys have, you can figure that Miss Myers was involved in some way. But the how and why is kind of open to interpretation.
Legacy, I'll be taking pictures of the bodies and the burnout computers. And after I finish with that, I'm going to go out and use those keys I found and check out the car.
Okay. Okay. It looks like he has just like a bog standard like Toyota. It's a newer Toyota. It's not hard to find, even though the keys won't work. There's only a couple Toyotas in the parking lot. So eventually you find one that has trappings that you recognize a couple of things that he had on him when he met you in the hotel room. Sorry, I'm getting harassed by a cat. Scout, why are you being so harassing tonight? She never does this. Like the last 4 nights, she's left me alone, and now all of a sudden. And when you get into his car is fairly clean. It looks like it's probably been detailed. I'll say recently, but when I say that, within the last like 2 to 3 weeks, it's been detailed. But you do find his briefcase in the back seat.
Ooh. Is it locked?
It is not locked. It is it's more like a satchel. So than a briefcase would be a better way to describe it.
Alrighties. I'm going to put it on the ground and open it.
Okay. Inside of it, you see a laptop in there, but inside of there, you find a letter that is, it seems kind of bog standard, but it's addressed to his fake name. And it is signed Professor F. It appears that it's a letter discussing the initiative to bring more women to this college.
Professor F. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't correlate with the Myers.
Nope.
Who do we know it from the college who actually has a name that starts with F?
Foster.
Yeah, okay.
Which one's Foster?
She's the lead professor for the computer sciences department.
Well, I mean, we already knew that the computer sciences department was involved with this somehow. Just we haven't figured out the exact method it's connected yet.
I'm going to bring the laptop back in to Felton so I can check it out. I'm going to take a picture of the letter.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay, so Felton, you get this laptop open, and it does have a password on it. But again, you have enough computer science knowledge that you know that if you boot into safe mode without networking, you can probably bypass it. Or without networking, you can probably bypass it.
Sure.
Because Windows is fucking stupid that way. So you're able to get into it and browse the file system. It is suspiciously clean, except for a file. It looks like a bin file, like an auto executing bin file, called titled Fastidelius.
Hmm. Okay. Interesting. Is this model of laptop something that is efficient at cloud computing?
It's like a newer IBM Think machine.
Okay. So it's something where if you want to check your email, it'll literally just download your email from a remote server so that you can read the email. And if
Yes,
you and my documents and what have you like that, it's just storing them in the cloud. It's not storing them locally.
yes, very likely. Or alternatively, he's using something like OneDrive or something to store most of his information.
Sure. Yeah, but the important part is that the computer itself is a method of accessing information stored remotely and not something that he was actually storing information on.
Yes, that would be your guess. Again, based on your computer science background, yes.
Okay. Okay. So like looking at it, it's like there's just not much information that I can find on it.
No.
And I would need to have his login credentials to access his remote stuff.
Yes.
So can I look at this particular bin file to see if there's anything special about it? Or is it just like something that automatically erases his temporary internet files or something like that?
No, no. When you open it up in, of course, Notepad, because that's what it's going to be the fastest to do. You open it up, and it does not appear to be written in any like known language. It is a series of symbols. It
Okay.
looks almost like a one of the symbol fonts, but you've never seen symbols like this.
Not not human readable because of the fact that it is something in an eldritch language.
That is your guess. It's
Oh boy.
again with
That's
everything
actually
going
not the
on.
first time this has come up in this investigation. So I would say that my character isn't actually all that surprised. It's like,
Yes, it is.
that again.
Again. do the John Hurt from Spaceballs. Not again.
Yeah, something like that. All right. Well, I guess we don't really have much we can do with this thing then.
Oh, we can. I'm gonna. Do you think you could transmit the information to our buddy?
Well, I mean, like the laptop doesn't really have any information that's useful to us stored on it. All it has is a special program that we might want to have a copy of for research purposes, but it's not really data we can use.
Yep.
But
Because it appears he's been backing it up to the cloud in some format.
so we don't have Arthur with us, but we do have a contact that, as long as he has like a standalone system where he's at with the.
Sure.
Remember, we're
You
part of
could-
the Hoffman Institute. You could transmit the information, and we can make up the difference of us not knowing anything about the occult.
You could call Jonas and send him the file and see if they can translate it.
Okay, sure. Sounds like
I mean,
a plan.
that's a viable option.
I mean,
uh,
it sounds mildly dangerous, but whatever.
That's
Well,
why
you
I said like a standalone computer not connected to the network.
You could go
in a
into his
controlled
office.
environment.
You could do it from his office if you wanted to.
Where's his office?
You guys are standing in the parking lot of this office building still, so
Wait, we building which parking lot is it? The one.
this is the
building-
parking lot of the Diversity Consultants.
Oh wait, this isn't at the main college.
No. You guys haven't left the Diversity Consultants completely yet because he wanted to check out his car.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Well, we seem to have exhausted most of what we could do here, unless we want to look around in the buildings, see if we missed anything the first time.
And you do have you guys did. I think Arthur's carrying them. Uh, you guys do have the drives from the other computers in the office.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's like we when we first came in, we looked at the computers that were fried and destroyed and decided to remove their hard drives just in case the hard drives weren't trashed like the motherboards.
Yes.
Because like the computers are unusable. Maybe the hard drive is readable.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But you guys are going to need to get somewhere with a portable hard drive plug-in to look at them.
To be honest, that is possibly something we could use this laptop we just stole for, because with
Sure.
some laptop models, yank out the hard drive and then I'll put in a different hard drive and whatever.
Sure enough. But remember, you do have evidence that you need a biometric to log into these hard drives, into the operating systems. So
True. But oh, that is another thing that's a possibility, because like some of the super paranoid types will have encrypted hard drives, and the encryption on the hard drive is something that's linked to the motherboard in the computer that it was in. So if you pull the hard drive, it just won't work in another computer.
but you're using the logic you possess. You're guessing these guys are not like weirdo conspiracy theorists.
Or, you know, the
Yeah.
government.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Say hi to the CIA. We're talking bad about the government.
Once you're finished here, is there a payphone nearby?
Dude, it's 2026. What do you think?
There might be. It's in a middle.
It is on
nowhere.
that part of town.
Well, okay. I'm gonna place a private call to call the police.
Yeah, you
See,
could, dude. If you have to,
location.
you could use the phone from that office.
Oh, is the phone in the office working, unlike the
Yes.
computers?
Yes,
Okay.
the phones are still working. As you guys kind of look through the office, if you take another quick look through the office, you notice the server room is still humming.
You know, it occurs to me that this was probably the reason why I wanted to take a second look, is because like I had this itch in the back of my mind saying we hadn't finished with something, and I guess it would be that. Okay, so I guess let's try to see what we can find in the server room.
Yeah. Okay. Server room is actually not locked. These guys are not. Again, they're not paranoid enough to lock their server room. And the server room is kind of small because they don't have a lot of server needs. A lot of their stuff is held off site. But you notice that their server rack is running perfectly fine. And on the terminal, you see similar symbols to what you found in that file.
Well, there's something on me that I can take a photograph of them with.
Yeah, your phone would take a photograph of
Okay,
it.
cool. Yeah, because like that sounds like something we would want to have as some research material later.
Yep. Yep. So, like I said, while you're doing that, though, at most, if you want to, on the way out, just find like one of the desk phones and just dial, 911 and be like, "Hey, there's a bunch of dead people," and then you guys can run.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
But,
just do a vague post, like, hey, 911. I'm not sure what happened in this building. I was walking past it and I noticed a weird smell of burnt flesh, and it looked.
Oh no, we're not going to be here. Quick question though.
I know we're not going to stay here. We're just going to tell 911 that we found something and then leave.
Yes.
hell,
Now,
if you
quick
had
question.
to, you could just be like, "I heard gunshots from this address," and then hang up.
I want to know whether or not Robert's LinkedIn is being updated still.
It is not. Its last update was last night.
Okay. Alrighties, yes, let's do that and run.
Okay. You guys get in your car and you take off. About a mile up the road, you guys do pass police cars with lights on. Heading towards the building. So it does work. You do get the cops there, so they're going to find the bodies.
Yep.
Do you have anything else you guys want to do in OKC while you're here?
I want to.
Kind of blanking on what we have a reason to do here.
How much are just like a cheap shotgun?
A cheap what?
Shotgun.
Cheap shotgun? $500 or so.
All right. Do I have to do the waiting period?
With shotguns, it's interesting. I don't know Oklahoma law well enough. For funsies, I'll say no.
Okay.
Although I think in most states you still are required to go through all the background checks and stuff. But at a minimum,
I'm gonna purchase a shotgun, and I'm gonna buy some assortment of like slugs and buckshot.
okay, that sounds good to me. All right, so you guys are able to head back to where Mapleton is. You're able to head back to the town, to your hotel room, and once you're there, Felton can send over that file over to Jonas. I would heavily encourage you encrypting the piss out of it so it doesn't get loose.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
But you're able to do that. You're able to get it to Jonas, and you get an email back about 20 minutes later telling you that he has some guys looking at it, but it may take them a day or two.
Yeah, I mean, like, as someone with, normal person kind of computer experience, I look at this and I'm like, I don't understand how a computer can process code written in that language. It confuses me.
Yeah. This whole thing has just been like, what is going on? But now that you're back around the college, you also will have access to, I'm figuring at least you or Arthur, one of the two of you guys would have a portable drive container that you can plug those drives into as well if you wanted to do that.
Well, I mean, I figure with my computer, it would probably have a attachment for like hooking up external drives to it, because
that's what I mean. Yeah, having the case. Yeah,
because that's just helpful when you're doing diagnostic work with computers.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was
data
saying.
from other people.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You would, one of the two of you, a minimum, would have at least one.
Like one of the oldest tricks with computers is like to yank the hard drive out of someone else's computer, and it is a secondary drive in your computer, so that you can log in to your computer using your credentials, and then just steal the data out of the other one.
Yep. You're able to get you go through a couple of drives. A couple of them are burned, but you finally get one, and it appears to be the secretary's computer, the front desk computer, and it has some, has kind of the bog standard files on it. It has some save files on there, like contract agreements and things like that are easily fillable. You also find an address book in there. That the address, it's a digitized address book that you're able to open up. You have to dig around for something to do it online, but you're able to find one, and it opens up, and it appears that it's a lot of their business contacts, including their lawyers.
That sounds useful.
Yes. And one of the biggest pieces of information you find on there is you find a PNG file, and it seems completely out of place. And when you open it up, it is a black background. And I'm trying to think of the right way to describe this. It has what looks like lightning bolts in the shape of a face. Like there's a lightning bolt for the mouth, 2 lightning bolts for the eyes, and like a shock of hair that's made out of lightning bolts.
So edgy, early 2000s corporate logo.
Kind of. But it doesn't.
Believe it or not, I actually have seen an ad from some company where that they actually had their corporate logo spelled out with lightning bolts.
Nice. But it's out of place on this computer.
Because it's like the only thing that looks like that. And it's...
Yes.
Wait, who's... okay, this is supposed to be a face, and it's just a face. It's not real... There's no, like, name or anything saying what the face is.
No.
What's the file
And it's
name?
even untitled.png.
Wow, that's creative. Okay.
Well, it's just the default that Paint uses. So.
Oh, I know that. It's just that I am now going to try to figure out what. Okay, where in the computer is this file located?
You locate it under the desktop.
Wait, it's actually just sitting on the desktop?
It's under the desktop folder, yeah.
Okay. And the computer's not using it for anything. It's just on the desktop.
It's on the desktop.
Not like the desktop wallpaper or anything like that. Just sitting on the desktop. Yep. Okay, that's weird. This seems like the sort of thing we should consult the magic specialists about, because, you know, it's kind of spooky and you know, whatever.
That's Jonas at the moment.
At the moment, it is Jonas. Again, you can forward it to Jonas very easily.
Yep, do that.
So, you guys have a couple of days before Jonas is going to be able to get back with you on the script. Is there anything you guys want to do in the meantime? Or do you want to see what he says before you make any moves?
Look at the list of names and addresses and all that stuff we found, and you know, research all of those people.
Okay. Most of the names, as you research them, they're business contacts. A couple of them are other consulting firms. There's a few guys that do. There's an external IT consulting company that would probably be who maintains their servers for them and does their repair on machines. And then you have a small log firm that appears to be a corporate law firm. They handle corporate matters, particularly employment and employment discrimination, that kind of fun stuff. And one of the bigger ones you find is an accounting firm in Oklahoma City. It's a fairly large size accounting firm. So it appears that they don't do, again, being intelligent as you guys are, it appears these guys don't do a lot of their own in-house management. Somebody helps manage a lot of their business end.
Wait, where's my character half on this again? Let's see here. What is my level of business skill? Oh, right. I have like really, really, really basic business, and nothing beyond just like the bare bones basic business skill. So like it at least wouldn't be an untrained role, but you know, it's not much.
I mean, if you want to roll business, you can roll business to see if you can kind of puzzle out anything deeper about it. But the surface level that you're gathering is that they're not doing a lot of their business stuff in-house.
Sure. What would I roll for that?
Go ahead and give me business. And because you have access to some of their information, I'll say go ahead and do it at a minus D4. So D20 minus D4.
Okay. Really? I got 8 minus 3.
So you got a total of 5. What's your score?
My int is 14.
How many ranks do you have in business?
It's one of the core skills, and
Oh, that's right. Okay, so 14. Okay, so you got a good success. Uh, so you're actually able to put this together pretty well. Not only are they probably not taking care of their business in house, your guess is that these people are probably either one of two things. They're either complete neophytes at business, or they're completely incompetent at running a business. How they're making money is beyond you, because they legitimately, from the connections you're seeing, they don't know how to do anything that keeps a business running.
well, one of the things you brought up earlier is something to the effect of like this is kind of sort of feels like a shell company, just a well-connected shell company or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. So
Yes, we talked about all that.
so it would that actually makes sense, because as a shell company, it's just like people who are doing something specific and they don't really have like a business administration anything. They're just kind of there.
Okay. Um, as you're as you're closing out everything, right as you're getting ready to close out the drive, you notice a form, and the form says source underscore contract.rtf. So, first off, it's a weird little file, but two, who the hell uses RTF anymore?
Oh, well, you see, it's actually a file format that gets someplace simply because of the fact that you can pass it between different
Yeah,
operating systems with
yeah,
relatively little issue.
yeah. This is true, but most people in business use .doc or .docx now.
Right. But like DocX is an example of what you would have as something that isn't necessarily going to be openable on all systems.
Yes.
Granted, doc is pretty much universally acceptable, but
Yep.
like RTF, due to being an older file format, is even more easily.
And it's openable without an installed word processor on most systems that use Windows. So, and I think it actually opens up on Mac too. Mac reads the RTFs as well without an install.
Well, that's what I was getting at. I said RTF is a
Yeah.
file format where you go to a Linux system, and whatever word processing application you have in Linux will be able to read
Yep.
it.
Yep. I think so. So yeah, I mean, but I'm kind of half joking, but like I know very few business people that use RTF anymore.
There are some people who just like doing it the old way.
Well, the reason the business guys I know don't use it anymore is because DocX has better formatting and easier to format and stuff. So, but that's a
Well,
whole separate discussion.
yeah. But anyway, like with this one, trying to guess why someone's using RTF instead. Yeah, sounds like something we'll have to ponder later.
But it, like I said, it's named source underscore contract.
So what's in the file anyway?
It appears to be a contract. And if you don't, nobody here has legal skills, I believe. So eyeballs will bleed reading this, because it is written legalese. But at the bottom, it has a signature line, and then it has a big open space where you would normally have a notary, like a box. But it says press thumbprint here in
Okay.
kind of smaller text next to it.
Okay. Interesting. That's not something you can digitally sign properly, but whatever. So what, like, what is it in there in this that I could like figure out from the fact that I have at least some modicum of
Yep.
business understanding at least?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you do have business, so we'll go with that. Um, it appears to be a business contract agreeing to financially support and to help grow the brand.
What's the brand that's specified in the contract?
It lists the diversity consultant group name, which I have forgotten because my brain is like not working tonight.
Okay, but it's the consultancy group
Mhm,
whose office we just left, and they're
mhm.
dead. Although this is one of the hard drives out of their office, so
Yep,
that kind of
yep,
makes sense. Anyway,
yep.
though, but like it's the contract between them and who exactly?
The group that's listed as the benefactor is called the Source LLC.
Yeah, that's descriptive. Although realistically, that's true of a lot of LLCs in real life. So
It's
I guess my character won't be surprised, just mildly annoyed that the contract doesn't actually say anything about who this is. Like seriously, is there any information, like contact information for the source?
the only information appears to be a phone number that seems to be it appears to be local to Oklahoma. When you look up the area code, again, you can do an area code search to find out where they're coming from, and it also appears that they have only a PO box listed.
Okay,
And
well,
in the contract, it says that once you put the thumbprint on it, you need to mail it back to that PO box.
sure. Okay, so I will jot down that information, and yeah, I'm going to attempt to look them up online.
Okay, so being kind of generic, you get a lot of information on the source,
Well, no,
but
no.
one,
Like I mean by like I'm going to use their PO box and their phone
I was gonna
number.
say, yeah, you're still gonna get a lot of information because that's so generic. But you do find a very generic late '90s website, like think GeoCities website.
I mean, I remember what those look like.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, like with the spitting word art and everything. Oh,
I mean, if they even have spinning word art.
yeah, exactly. Um, and it appears that there's not a lot of information on the website, but it does say something funny at the bottom, helping businesses thrive since 1725.
Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But it's just everything other than that is just fluff and
Yeah, just fluff. Just it's very generic jargon,
almost like the website itself is a placeholder.
almost.
Or a front where if you happen to know the right method of accessing the website, it'll give you a different web page entirely.
Yep. Yeah. But the weird thing is there's no like portal login. There's no,
Yeah, I
you
know.
know, nothing like that.
Well, one thing I know from real life with websites is that you can actually set up a website where that if you go to like say my homepage.com and just go to
Mm-hmm.
that, it'll give you this blank welcome page that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't go anywhere. But if
Yeah.
you go to myhomepage.com/one, it'll give you a completely different page
Mm-hmm.
just because that's what you chose to do.
Uh, again,
And on this side, I don't know any what you would have to like do to it to get it to actually do something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that, I guess.
uh, yeah, it's uh, you can. I mean, you know this from real life. You can pull up the source code for the website, and it's fairly simple CSS and HTML.
Right,
There,
right.
this is not a very complicated website from a code
Well,
perspective.
well, that's part of the thing with this though is that when you just like look at the source code of the web page you downloaded, that's
Mhm.
not actually going to contain the source code of subpages. It'll
I know.
only give you what's actually being
Yeah, I know.
currently displayed.
Yep. Yep.
And since this doesn't have hidden links to subpages that are buried in the code, well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like this web page is again, this is something both of you guys would even at most even your character would know this if you're looking at the web page with them. People don't build web pages like this anymore. Web pages they're built totally different now. This web page is ancient.
Well, I mean, yeah, that kind of goes with the fact that they claim to be a company that's almost 300 years old. So yeah.
Yeah. Although if you look them up because they're Oklahoma based, if you look them up on the Secretary of State's website, they do appear with current tax filings and current tax codes and all the proper tax IDs and all that. The tax identification numbers and all that kind of fun stuff. So they are a real company as far as the government is concerned.
Well, I mean, shell companies usually are real companies on paper anyways. Yes. Okay, well, this is interesting and creepy and stuff. There's nothing like interesting visually about this. Just, whatever. Okay.
No, but you do find on the Secretary of State's website that for the purposes of taxes and everything, their CEO is listed as an H. Foster.
Isn't that the name of the whatever guy at the college?
Yes, it is.
Oh wait, the IT.
No, that's a lead professor. Is an H. Foster.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm trying to remember that list of names that you showed us earlier.
I can bring it up if you need it. There you go.
Yeah, sure.
There you go. So you have a list of names.
Oh, Hughes was the president, right? Hillary Foster is the lead of the computer sciences thing. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. So, if this source is actually Hillary Foster, that raises a lot of questions. Because, how is she the lead professor if she's running whatever this thing is? But then again, if this is a shell company that doesn't really do much of anything, then it's, something she might spend 5 minutes a day thinking about. So, whatever.
Yep.
Did Felton and Arthur talk with Foster?
Yes, they talked to Foster last session.
How did that go?
She was perfectly amicable. I mean, she came across as very honest and decent.
Let's pay a visit.
Do we have any sort of a way to a phone number for her or something?
You could call the school and get her school switchboard and get transferred to her office.
Or we could just go to her office.
Or you could go to her office. I mean, either way, that's going to faster probably to go try to find her on campus than it is to try to call her anyways.
Yeah, because calling her office is only going to help if she's actually in her office.
In the office, yeah.
Although some campuses have, instead of landline phones, they have a switchboard for what are basically cell phones.
Yeah.
Except they're, limited use cell phones that are tied to their local network.
Yeah. But you guys aren't sure if that's what they're doing or not. You never checked into that, so.
Yeah. So, anyways, I guess we can just go find her.
Okay. So you guys go back up to the computer science building. You guys get lucky enough to catch her leaving a classroom towards the end of the day. And she looks a little harried, a little bit kind of tired. I mean, she's been teaching all day. And she sees you and smiles and says, "Oh, I didn't know I'd be seeing you guys again. And what brings you back?"
We have some matters to discuss. Can we go to your office?
She says, "Of course, I was going over there anyways. I've got to do some work before I go home, unfortunately.
When we get to the office, I'm going to, since I also have like an old school camera, so she could go through the images and stuff, and I'll hand over to her, and I'm going to instruct her to go through like the bodies and have it land on the Robert Holston guy, and I'm going to take out my pistol. I'm going to set it on the desk near me.
Jesus Christ. You guys are going to get arrested. I hope you know that.
You're going to have to talk, ma'am.
She looks at the gun and goes, "Are you completely insane?"
Is she totally blowing off the fact that there are a bunch of dead people?
Oh, no, she's pale. I mean, she's looking at dead people. She's pale and kind of sweaty. She's clearly uncomfortable.
So it seems Robert Holston is dead, as well as a bunch of other people involved with. I nudged Felton. This company that you are she a board member of?
No. She's the CEO of the Source.
Yeah, her connection is that contract we found, contracting those guys that are dead to do her bidding.
Oh, okay. So a former student, was doing contracting work with you, and they turned up dead.
She tosses the camera back across the table and says, "Whatever you think I know, I certainly have nothing to do with this."
We're going to have to peruse your computer.
She looks at you and she says, "Under what authority?" She's smarter than you think she is.
Well, not smart enough. I'll pick up my gun and point it at her.
Slap him. Quick, Felton. Slap him.
Yeah, I'm just going to point out is that if we don't have the access code to get into her computer, we can't just, force our way in.
Well, you
sign in.
You can, but you're kind of committing kidnapping right now.
Not trying to kidnap her. I can't disclose who we work for, but assume it's the feds.
Okay, so I'm going to explain kidnapping law to you. The moment that they're not free to leave, you kidnap them.
I didn't say that. I said to log into your computer.
I'm just explaining. You have her at gunpoint. You have kidnapped her.
Just so you know, I'm not really a private detective, and I'm not whatever Felton is. We're part of the Institute.
Yeah,
we have to get stuff done.
Oh, they can get this swept under the rug, I'm sure, but it might take some time. She shakily logs into her computer and turns it around, and you can see there's really nothing on her computer that doesn't appear to belong.
I facepalm.
And this is the part where Felton's going like, yeah. If you'd asked me if I thought this was a good idea before doing it, I would have told you no.
It kind of sucks that we don't have any leads at all.
Well, so no, that's just it. That this is a lead. It's just that, well, can't really just, kick the door down and make it happen.
Yeah, well, you can, but
the issue is it's a lot of me trying to figure out what I can do.
You're getting close to be able to do something. Don't worry.
No, apparently.
No, you are. Trust me, you are. Remember, I have this all planned out. Remember that. Okay. She looks coolly at you and she says, "I'll tell you what, if you both leave right now, I'll pretend this never happened."
Sigh. I'll be back. I'll leave.
Okay. When looking at her computer, is there anything at all that even looks remotely interesting on it?
No,
No.
like I said, it looks like the standard computer for the school should. It has the portal page on the desktop, so she can quickly access the portal to put grades in, an email client, all that kind of fun stuff.
Is it set up like a dumb terminal where the computer itself is just a method of accessing the server?
Pretty much. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, great. Okay. Something to keep in mind for later, so that if anything she had on her computer was incriminating, it's not actually stored locally. Good to
Yep.
know.
Yeah. Okay. So unless you guys have something else you want to do, we can do a time
I got
jump.
nothing.
All right, you guys want to ready for the time jump then?
Sure.
About a day later, you guys get a call back from Jonas. He actually calls Felton because he's the person that sent the information in. And he tells you, Felton, that the script that you're looking at appears to be Babylonian.
Interesting.
Some type of Babylonian. And the way he describes it to you is it's almost like a Babylonian pigeon or Babylonian shorthand, which doesn't make any sense because nothing like that's known to exist.
I mean, the Babylonians used cuneiform, and
Yeah.
there are actually multiple dialects of cuneiform. But if this stuff isn't like proper cuneiform, well, who knows?
Well, he tells you that when they break down the symbols, you can see the cuneiform in the symbols, but it took them a while to process it properly to get it to show up the way that it was supposed to.
Okay, so like it's the symbols are all like have the shapes modified to. Cuneiform is defined by the fact that the people who were writing with it were using a stylus made out of a piece of a reed.
Yes.
From a plant in the river.
Yes. Similar to Hebrew.
Well,
Ancient Hebrew.
In this particular case, the way the symbols have been transformed, what writing utensil are they being written with?
He tells you that they can't be sure, but their guess is that these were probably hand drawn. He's guessing with a quill of some kind. What the quill would be made of, he wouldn't be sure.
Interesting. Yeah, because like the thing with cuneiform is that you take a piece of wet clay and you poke it repeatedly with the stylus to make the symbols. You don't draw them. But the equivalent of cursive writing being done with cuneiform using a quill pen instead of a stylus and wet clay. Yeah, I'm trying to wrap my head around what that would look like, and it's not working.
So if you're Jonas is a pretty sharp guy. He tells you that what he would guess is you would use something like closer to a papyrus that would absorb better, and you wouldn't write on the paper. You would simply let the ink drop.
Okay.
To simulate the poking of clay.
And that's how these symbols that we have documented look to you, I guess.
He said that's what the experts are telling me.
Interesting. Well, that does seem like, the sort of writing utensils people would use in the 1700s in North America or Europe for writing a derivative of cuneiform.
And he reiterates, it's not even really truly Babylonian. It's almost like a shorthand that we've never seen before.
Yeah, like 2,000 years of linguistic evolution or something or other. Yeah, right.
Yes.
And attempting to figure out what it actually says. Good luck with that, I suppose.
He does tell you that two words that stood out to the experts uh, in a couple of places where the term Enochian gets used and that the term Fastendelius gets used. Neither of which makes sense because nobody inside of the occult department has ever heard those terms in the same sentence. And there's no record of any Babylonian Fastendelius. That would be later Latin.
Well, I mean, we don't really know what caused it to do its linguistic drift or whatever, but like cross contamination with Latin, yeah, sounds plausible.
I just got in my mouse, babe. Yep. Just so you guys know, we're going to go a little shorter tonight without Atomic because I want next session should be the last session for this arc. Just so you know.
And I guess we're about to get to the important part, and you want to
Yes,
be
you
here for
are.
that. Okay.
Yes, you are. We're getting ready for it. At this time,
Quick question: do we have any leads right now? Because I'm honestly pretty confused.
but you're about to get one. Hang on.
Oh dear God!
I always forget your character's name. So Eddie, you actually get a phone call about this time while he's on the phone with Jonas. Your phone just starts ringing really, really, really wildly. You gonna answer?
No, I'm going to cancel the call. I'm joking. I'm going to answer the call.
Okay. It is a panicked woman's voice that you recognize as Hillary Foster.
Ah, God damn it!
And she screams into the phone, "Oh my God! Oh my God! Jay's gone crazy. He's locked us all in the library and he's threatening us. Jesus Christ!" And in the background, you hear screaming and you hear things being knocked over and thrown around.
Jay's the janitor, right?
No, he's the head of the computer sciences department.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm going to head over to the car and grab the shotgun.
You all see?
Finally, I get to do something.
Yes.
Oh man.
What else you want to do besides get the shotgun?
I'm going to head over.
Okay. You guys are in your hotel room, so you guys are going to head over to the library at the school.
What weapons do I have?
You have at least a 9 because they provided you a 9mm.
Yeah, I think I have like basic like level 1 or whatever training on how to use the thing.
Yeah, you have a 9mm is all you got. Then I think because I don't think you've ever picked up anything else. As you guys enter the library, it is a mess. Whole library stacks have been knocked over. Printers are thrown across the room. The desk where the librarians are at have been broken in half.
Oh, wow.
And standing in the middle of the library over Jay's prone body is Hillary Foster. And as you walk into the room, the three walk in, the door slams shut and you hear a resounding clink that sounds like it may have locked itself. And Hillary gives you a weird smile, and her eyes are electric yellow. Not her pupils or her corneas. Her whole eyes are electric yellow. And she looks at you and says, "I guess I have to squash a couple of more bugs that have gotten in my way."
Felton, you should have let me fucking shoot her. Jesus Christ.
I didn't stop you from shooting her. I was actually, I was trying to tell you was that, I was like, maybe possibly, ask nicely, then you do that. That was really all I was saying.
No, I had
Anyway,
an inkling suspicion. It's just, by the way, she's listening to us bigger. By the way, I'm gonna wreck my shotgun.
And that is actually a great point to leave it off because we can get to the next session. We can get you guys through the end of the source.
Yay! We get to have someone accompany us as we get electrocuted.
Okay, give me a second, guys. Let me play the outro video.